Isaiah chapter 6,
请翻到以赛亚书第6章。
verse 1. In the year of King Uzziah's death, I saw the Lord sitting on a throne, lofty and exalted, with the train of his robe filling the temple. Seraphim stood above him, each having 6 wings. With 2 he covered his face, and with 2 he covered his feet, and with 2 he flew. And one called out to another and said, Holy, holy, holy is the Lord of hosts. The whole earth is full of his glory. And the foundations of the threshold trembled at the voice of him who called out, while the temple was filling with smoke.
1到4节，我们一起来读。当乌西亚王崩的那年，我见主坐在高高的宝座上，他的衣裳垂下，遮满了圣殿，其上有撒拉弗侍立，各有6个翅膀，用2个翅膀遮脸，2个翅膀遮脚，2个翅膀飞翔，彼此呼喊说：圣哉，圣哉，圣哉！万军之耶和华，他的荣光充满全地。因呼喊者的声音，门槛的根基震动，殿充满了烟云。我说：祸哉，我灭亡了。
All right, well, let's begin in verse 1.
我们从第1节开始。
Isaiah says that he saw the Lord.
以赛亚说他看见了主。
Now we have to ask ourselves a question.
我们要问自己一个问题了：
How can that be?
他怎么能见主呢？
Because in other places in the scriptures, we hear that no man can see God and live.
我们在其他经文上，我们看到没有人能够见主，仍然活下去的。
Remember when God told Moses, You cannot look at my face and live.
记得神告诉摩西说：“你不能够见我的面而活下去。
So he put Moses in the cleft of a rock, ”
所以他把摩西放在磐石的穴中，
and he covered Moses,
他覆盖住摩西，遮盖他，
and then he passed by,
然后他经过，
and then he allowed Moses only to see the back of him.
然后他允许摩西看到他的背影。
Now, even in that, we need to understand something.
在那个情况下，我们需要明白一些事儿。
The Bible is using human terms to describe God so that we might understand.
圣经在用人类能够明白的语言来形容神，好叫我们能够明白他。
God is spirit,
因为神是灵，
so it doesn't mean that he has a back
不是说神有一个背啊，
or that he has physical arms.
或者他有一个血肉的膀臂。
As in the same way, it says that he covers us with his wings. God doesn't have wings.
圣经也说到，他用他的翅膀覆庇我们。那神哪有翅膀？
That's using human terminology so that we can understand.
他是在用人类能够明白的语言，叫我们能够接纳，能够
If you
明白。
see a man directly in his face,
如果你看到一个人的面孔啊，
you see him more clearly than if you only see the back of his head.
比看他的背影更清楚，对不对？
There have been many times when we walk up to someone thinking that it's the person we think it is because we see the back of their head, and then they turn around and we find out it's someone else.
有时候我们到一个人面前，我们看他的背影，我们以为他是一个人，他一转脸，看他的脸，我们知道，哎呀，认错人了。
So he was only giving Moses a limited view of who he is.
所以他只给摩西一个对他的有限的一个看见，
He's giving him a glimpse
让他瞟一眼而已。
because something more would kill Moses.
因为如果摩西看得更清楚的话，摩西会死掉的。
The same way here in Isaiah 6,
好，同样的，在以赛亚书第6章，
it is a vision of God,
这是一个神的意象，
a limited representation,
一个有限的一个代表的象征，
and nothing of the fullness of God.
而不是神的完全的荣耀的彰显。
But I want you to look that even this limited view of God sets Isaiah in the dust.
但我要你看到，就算这个对神的有限的彰显，都使以赛亚匍在尘土中。
In verse 5, he says, Woe is me, I'm ruined.
第5节他说：“哎呀，我有祸了，我灭亡了。”
It also could be translated this way, I cease to exist.
可以这么翻译啊，我不再存在了，祸哉！
Now, I think it's very important here
我想这里很重要。
that the more Isaiah sees of God, the less he thinks of himself.
以赛亚看神看得越清楚，他就把自己看得越低。
We are filled with thoughts about ourselves.
我们对自己有许多的虚荣的思想，
And so few thoughts of God.
但是对神却想不到，没有美好的思想。
Even many churches today are built around the needs of people and not the glory of God.
今天很多的教会都是环绕着人的需要，而不是神的荣耀。
It's all about what can God do for me.
一切都是关乎神能为我做什么。
But the more we see of God,
但是我们越看清楚神，
the less we're consumed with ourselves.
我们就越对自己不在乎了。
For example, if you walk out in the morning and see a beautiful sunrise,
譬如说，你一大早出去看到一个美丽的日出，
the more beautiful that sunrise, the more you think of it and the less you think of you.
你看那个日出越美丽，你就会越少的想到你自己。
Now, there's another thing that I want you to see.
还有一件我要你看到的是，
It says in verse 1,
这里第一节说到，
In the year of King Uzziah's death, I saw the Lord sitting upon a throne.
当乌西雅王崩的那年，我见主坐在高高的宝座上。
Now, as the kings of Israel go, he was a good king.
在以色列犹大的王当中乌西雅是一个好王了，
But he died.
但他死了。
And Isaiah is somewhat left alone.
以赛亚就有些孤单了。
And the world all around Isaiah was changing.
以赛亚的整个世界都在改变。
It was at this time that the beginnings of the Roman Empire were being established.
在这个时刻，罗马帝国就开始走上坡了，开始建立了。
Nations were rising up and other nations were being destroyed.
国度有些国度兴起，有些国度衰亡。
There were wars and uncertainty.
当时不很稳定，有一些征战的
And
情况。
now this king that was something of an ally for Isaiah is dead.
现在这个乌夏王，他从前是以赛亚的好朋友，现在死了。
What did Isaiah need?
以赛亚需要什么呢？
Did he need another king?
他是否需要另外一个王来做他的后盾呢？
No, he needed to see God.
他需要见主就够了。
The more you know God,
你越认识神，
the more you will be certain and secure in times of trouble.
你就在患难中越有安全和保障。
When you see him seated upon a throne.
当你见主坐在高高的宝座上，
Now, the last thing I want to look at,
你就会有安全感。最后，我要看一件事。
he says, I saw the Lord.
他说：“我见主。”
Now, that's the word Adonai.
这个主就是主，在原文是 Adonai。
But then in verse 3,
然后第3节你看
the seraphim say, Holy, holy is the Lord of hosts.
撒拉弗说：“圣哉，圣哉，圣哉，万军之耶和华。
And the word there is Yahweh. ”
这里是耶和华，中文就很清楚了。
There's no doubt he's talking about God.
他讲的是神呢，没错。
The greatest revelation of God in the Old Testament.
在旧约圣经里头，神的最大的启示，
And
耶
you
和华。
hold your place
好，你把手指放这
and
儿，
look in John chapter 12.
然后看看约翰福音第12章
In verse 37 of John chapter 12,
37节，12章，
speaking about Jesus,
这里在讲论耶稣
but though he had performed so many signs before them, yet they were not believing in him.
他虽然在他们面前行了许多神迹，他们还是不信他。
This was to fulfill the word of Isaiah the prophet, which he spoke, Lord, who has believed our report, and to whom has the arm of the Lord been revealed?
这是要应验先知以赛亚的话说：“主啊，我们所传的有谁信呢？主的膀臂向谁显露呢？”
For this reason they could not believe, for Isaiah said again, He has blinded their eyes and hardened their hearts so that they would not see with their eyes and perceive with their heart and be converted, and I heal them.
他们所以不能信，因为以赛亚又说：“主叫他们瞎了眼，硬了心，免得他们的眼睛看见，心里明白，回转过来，我就医治他们。”
So he's explaining why the people did not believe, even though Jesus did many miracles.
他在描绘为什么耶稣行那么多神迹，老百姓还是不信他。
Verse 40 says these blinded their eyes,
40节说，因为他叫他们瞎了眼，
hardened their hearts in judgment.
他叫他们硬了心来审判他们。
Now, where does this come from?
这些经文从哪来的？
This verse 40.
40节，
comes from Isaiah 6.
是从以赛亚书第6章咯。
If you look at verse 10,
你看第10节，
render
6
the
章
hearts of this people insensitive and their ears dull and their eyes dim, otherwise they might see with their eyes, hear with their ears, understand with their hearts, and return and be healed.
要使这百姓的心蒙脂油，耳朵发沉，眼睛昏迷，恐怕眼睛看见，耳朵听见，心里明白，回转过来便得医治。
This was a judgment that God pronounced through Isaiah in Isaiah 6 when Isaiah was before the Lord.
这是当以赛亚见到主的时候，在以赛亚书第6章，神所宣布的对以色列人的审判。
But now look at verse 41.
再看41节翻回。
These things Isaiah said because he saw his glory and spoke of him.
约翰福音12章，以赛亚因为看见他的荣耀，就指着他说这话。
Here it says that Isaiah saw the glory of Jesus, the glory of the Son in Isaiah 6.
这里41节说，以赛亚看见了他，就是神的儿子的荣耀，耶稣的荣耀，就是在以赛亚书他所看见的。
In Isaiah 6, it says that Isaiah saw Yahweh or saw the Lord
在
Yahweh.
以赛亚书第6章说，他见到主，见到耶和华。
So what does this mean?
这意味着什么呢？
That Jesus is the Son of God.
意味着主耶稣就是神的儿
He
子，
is Yahweh
他就是耶和华，
or God the Son.
他就是神的儿子，他
And
是神。
the revelation of God that we see here in Isaiah 6,
在以赛亚书第6章，我们看到神的启示，神的荣耀的彰显。
it is a revelation of the eternal Son of God seated upon the throne.
这其实就是那永恒的神的儿子坐在他的宝座上，他的荣耀，耶稣的荣耀。
Now, I want you to think about something.
好，我要你好好思考一件事。
Many people
很多人
have more of a reverence for their idea of God than they do for their idea of Jesus.
他们对神的概念的尊重，超过他们对主耶稣的尊重。
They treat God as God,
他们尊重上帝，敬拜他。
but Jesus as their little friend. But they treat Jesus as like a
但
little
他们
buddy
对
or
待
friend.
耶稣的话，就像对待好朋友一样，我的亲密的好朋友，
That's wrong.
这是不对的。
You treat the Son in the same way you treat the Father.
你要尊重神的儿子，正如尊重圣父一样。
If you dishonor the Son, you dishonor the Father.
如果你不尊重子的话，你就是不尊重父。
And the Son is God as the Father is God.
圣子是神，正如圣父是神一样，同等的。
You know, there are Christians who I know love God who will disagree with me on this, but I'm going to say it anyways.
有一些很爱主的弟兄姊妹，他们虽然爱神，但是他们不同意我的看法，但我还是会说，
We are never to make a picture or an idol of God.
我们不要画神的像或者造神的形象，绝对不要。
Why?
为什么？
Because anything we draw or we make will be less than what God really is.
因为我们所画的或者所做出来的任何东西都会低于神的实际的荣耀，
So it will be a distortion of His glory.
因为我们就会扭曲他的荣耀。
I feel the same way about Jesus.
我觉得对耶稣也是这样。
I don't think it's proper to be drawing pictures and making statues of Jesus.
所以画耶稣像啊，或者造耶稣的雕刻啊，都是不恰当的，
Because you don't know what He looked like.
因为你实在不知道他到底长什么样，
And we're putting images in people's minds that just aren't true.
所以我们会把一些想法放在人的思想里头，其实不合乎事实的。
And any drawing or painting that we make is going to be less than what He
所以
is.
不管我们画什么像或者做什么形象，都会低于他实际的本质。
I heard of a missionary in India who was handing out tracts.
我听说在印度有一个传道人，他在发单张啊，
And on the back of the tract there was a painting of Jesus,
单张的后面有耶稣的一个画像啊，
like just His face.
或者他的脸啊。
And he handed the tract out to a little Indian girl
他把那个单张给了一个小小的印度女孩，
who said, "Thank you very much."
那小女孩很高，谢谢谢谢啊。
She had become a Christian, like 6 months
她
before.
大概半年前信了主，
She took the tract,
她拿那个单张
she walked away.
走了。
A few minutes later, she came back
几分钟后，她又回来了，
and she was crying.
她就痛哭啊。
She didn't know much,
她懂得不多，
but she went up to the missionary and pointed to the picture.
但她到那个传道人那儿，指向那个耶稣的像。
The missionary says, "What's wrong?"
那传道人说什么问题啊？
She said, "I'm so
说
sad.
我好难过，
I'm so brokenhearted.
我心都碎了。
Why?
为什么？
I thought he was much more glorious than this."
我认为耶稣比这个像荣耀的多得多了。
Do you see?
看到没有？
I think we need to be very careful.
我们需要非常的谨慎。
He's God.
他是神呐、
And even when we preach about him,
就算我们传讲他的时候，
we need to be very
我
careful
们要非常谨慎，
that we don't paint a picture with our words of a Jesus that's not really Jesus.
我们不要用我们的言语画一幅低于神的荣耀的图画出来。
That's why it's important to have an appropriate knowledge of Jesus.
所以对神的正确的认识非常重要。
Now,
How?
let's look for just a moment at God the Son seated upon the throne in verse 1.
我们再翻回第6章第1节，看到神的儿子坐在他的宝座上，高高的
It
坐在
says,
那儿。
"I saw the Lord sitting."
他说：“我见主坐在宝座上。”
In Psalms 2, it's the same.
在诗篇第2篇也是这么讲的，
He's seated.
他坐在
Now, what
宝
does that
座上
mean?，
什么意思？
In Psalms 2, the whole world has come together to fight against God.
在诗篇第2篇啊，整个世界联合起来要跟神征战，对
He,
抗神
he。doesn't even stand up.
他甚至不站起来，
He's not nervous.
他也不紧张，
He's not thinking, what am I going to do?
他也没说我该咋办呢？没有。
In Psalms 2, actually, he laughs.
在诗篇第2篇讲到，神坐在那嗤笑，
He just laughs.
他笑他们。
All the world is in chaos in Isaiah 6.
在以赛亚书第6章，全世界都混乱了，一片混乱。
Enemies all around Israel.
在以色列四周围都是仇敌啊！
And where is God?
神在哪儿？
Sitting down.
他坐着，
This is no problem.
他不成问题，他不在乎，
Everything's going to work out exactly like he wants it to.
一切都会按着他的旨意而成全。
How many people throughout human history have said, in 100 years, there will be no Christianity, there will be no church?
在教会历史上，多少人说过，再过100年，教会不存在了，神不再存在了。
God doesn't jump up from the throne and go, oh no, what am I going to do?
神不会从他的宝座上突然站起来，我该咋办呢？不
He
会，
laughs.
他笑话他们。
It's the same today.
今天也是如此，
There's a very good chance that inside of 10 or 15 years, some of us will be in jail
很可能是10年、15年之内，我们当中有些人会坐牢，
for our faith.
因着我们的信仰坐牢。
And so I can just imagine someone saying to me, where's your God now, preacher?
我可以想象，有些人会说：“哈哈，你的神在哪里，传道人？”
I'll say, seated on the throne and
Also-
laughing at you.
他说我会说，他坐在宝座上，在嘲笑你呢。
Voltaire, who was the famous philosopher and enemy of Christianity,
伏尔泰是基督教的有名的、著名的抵挡者
he said
和
100,
仇敌。
he stood up at his house
他在他家里头站起来，
and he said, 100 years from today, there will be no
他
Christianity.
说：“我预言100年内基督教会消失。
100 years from that day,
100年后，果然
they opened up a Bible printing press in his house.
他们在他家里头开了一个圣经印刷厂。
He's on the throne.
神仍然坐在宝座上。
Now, it says he's lofty and exalted,
这里说他高高的宝座上，坐在高高的宝座，
above everything.
超越一切。
He's above everything in strength.
他的能力超越一切，
above everything in power,
他的大能超越一切，
above all things in wisdom,
他的智慧超越一切，高高在上，
above all things in beauty,
他的荣美也超越一切，高高
above
在上，
all things in virtue.
他的美德也超越一切，高
He's
高在
above it
上，
all.
一切他都超越了。
Whatever your mind can conceive about perfection, he is infinitely beyond it.
不管你的头脑能够想象完美是如何完美，它是更加的超越的完美。
And it says the train of his robe fills the temple.
这里说到他的衣裳垂下，遮满圣殿。
There is no place that the robe of his authority and power does not touch.
没有任何地方他衣裳的权柄是不覆盖的，
He rules over all,
他掌管万有，
over everything.
一切都在他的权柄下，
So he can be trusted.
所以我们可以信
He's
任
also
他，
worthy of reverence and worship.
他也配得一切的尊荣和敬拜。
Now, this idea of a robe is always very important.
这个衣裳的这个概念总是很重要，
Throughout history,
在历史上，
not only in the West, but also in China,
不仅是西方，而且中国也是如此。
the emperors or kings wore these glorious
那
robes.
些皇帝或是君王会穿戴一些荣耀的衣裳袍子，
Many times, because the king or the emperor was so short, he stood on a box.
往往因为这个君王个子很矮，所以他会站在一个箱子上，
And the robe came down and went way out beyond him, and everyone would think he was tall. They covered up his feet.
所以他会穿戴着那个袍子，袍子把箱子都遮盖了，人家以为他个子很高大。
And sometimes there was a big board in the robe
有时候他会带一个披肩那个
to make the
黄袍上，
king's shoulders look really big.
使君王的肩膀呢看起来很宽阔。
And sometimes he wore a great crown on his head
有时候他头上戴一个很大的冠冕
so that you would look at the crown and forget about his ugly face.
所以你会看他的冠冕就忘掉他那个丑脸。
So you'd walk into this temple
所以你进到这个圣殿里，
or this palace
或者他的皇宫里，
and you'd see this gigantic king,
你看到这个身材魁梧的君王，
very tall,
个子很高大，
great shoulders.
膀臂宽阔，
And they were amazed.
他们非常的惊
Then
讶。
when everyone left,
每个人离开的时候呢，
they would unbutton the robe,
他们就把他的袍子给脱下来，
and this tiny, skinny-legged little man would come out.
里头就是一个干干瘦瘦的小子就出来了。
He had no real glory,
他自己没有任何的荣耀，
so he had to invent it.
所以他必须发明一些荣耀穿上去。
But God is his own glory.
但是神本身就满了荣耀，
He needs no majestic robes.
他不需要荣耀的袍子穿上，不
He's
需要，
wrapped in his own beauty,
他是披戴着自己的荣美，
his own virtue.
自己的美德。
Now, let's go on.
好，我们继续。
What is the response of those around him?
他四周围的人怎么回应他呢？
Now, it says that there are seraphim in verse 2 that stood above him.
第二节其上有撒拉佛势力。
The word seraphim literally means fiery or burning ones.
撒拉佛原文的意思，本来的意思就是那个火烧的那一位。
Now, we can probably say that these are the most powerful and most holy of all created beings.
我们可以说，这是神的所造之物当中最圣洁、最荣美的活物，
The greatest of all the angels.
是所有的天使当中最伟大的、最有权力的、全能的天使。
To give you an idea of what I'm talking about,
让我解释一下我说的
in the Bible, one angel comes down and in one moment kills 185,000
记
soldiers.
得圣经里头讲到，有一个天使从天降下来，他一夜之间就杀了185000人。
But here we have these seraphim.
这里我们有撒拉佛。
And when Isaiah looked at them, it is though they were on fire.
当以赛亚看到他们的时候，他们就像烧着的一样。
Now, when God has glory,
当神有荣耀，
it's an inherent glory. It is
神
something
的
that
荣耀
belongs to
是
him.
他自己本身本质的荣耀，
But anyone else that has glory, it is a derived glory.
但其他任何的受造之物的荣耀却是从神而来的荣耀。
That means it doesn't come out of them,
换言之，这个荣耀不是他们自己本身的，
but it comes from God.
那是从神而得的。
For example, God has life in himself.
譬如神自己里面有生命，
He isn't dependent upon anyone else for life.
他不需要依靠任何人来支取生命。
You and I are dependent upon God.
你我都需要依靠神来得生命，
We have no life in ourselves.
在我们自己里头没有生命。
And so these probably they are burning, or it appears they're burning or on fire because they're just reflecting the glory of the one seated upon the
所
throne.
以这撒拉佛他们看起来就是火光充满，因为他们在反映那坐在宝座上的那一位的荣耀。
So they're just a tiny, tiny reflection of the glory of God.
所以他们不过是一个神的荣耀的一个很肤浅的、很小的一个反射，
And yet it sets them on fire.
然而他们却充满了火光。
Look what it says, something unusual.
哦，这里要注意他说什么，很
They
不寻常
stood
的。
above him.
他们在上面，其上，在他上面。
Now in Hebrew, there's two possibilities.
在希伯来文这有两个可能性。
The word him may also be it.
在其上这个有6个翅膀，其上也可能在他就是没有位格的上面。
They may be saying that the seraphim stood above God,
也许这个意思是这些撒拉佛在神的上面
or that they stood above the robe that God was wearing.
或者他们是神所穿的袍子那个衣裳的上面，
That God is high above them,
神高高在上面，
but his robe comes down and fills the temple.
但是他的衣裳就是袍子充满了圣殿。
And they are hovering above the robe,
那些撒拉佛在他的衣裳的上面，
but
其上
not above God.
那不是在神的上面
That is a
这
possibility,
是一个可能性，
but it's unnecessary.
但没有必要，没有必要，
You see, with earthly kings,
因为地上的君王
there were some rules when you came into their courtroom.
当你要进到他们的殿里的时候，有一些规矩要遵行。
You didn't talk to them until they talked to you.
他们先发话，然后你才能够
Okay?
发话。他
You
们
never turned your back on them.
你不能够向君王背对君王，
So you would back out of their presence.
所以你会面对着君王往后退。
Then the other thing,
还有一件事，
you never stood above them,
你不能够站在君王的上面，不能，
especially a king that was short.
特别是一个矮的君王。
Now, why did they do that?
为什么他们那么做呢？
Insecurity.
因为他们没有安全感。
I don't want anybody standing above me because people will think they're greater than me.
我不要任何人站在我的头上，免得他们以为他比我更大，更伟大。
God doesn't have insecurities like that.
神没有这样的不安全感
These angels may have been flying above him,
这些天使也许真的飞在神的头上，
but that didn't bother God.
但对神而言没问题。
You walk in that room, you immediately knew who was God and who wasn't.
你进到他的圣殿，你马上知道谁是神，谁不是神，马上知道，
There was no confusion.
不会搞乱的。
Now, I want you to look.
好，我要你看
It says the seraphim stood above him, each having 6 wings.
好，其上有撒拉佛势力，各有6个翅膀，
With 2 he covered his face.
用2个翅膀他遮脸。
This is the possibility here is that God is so glorious they can't look on him.
可能性是神是如此荣耀，这些撒拉佛不敢看他。
It's like when you look up in the sky and all of a sudden you see the sun and you cover your face.
就像你举目看天上，你看到那个太阳光那么大，你马上遮住脸，
Because it's burning your eyes.
因为阳光使你的眼睛烧着。
The other possibility is just that was often a sign of humility.
另外可能性呢，这个遮脸也是一个表现谦卑的方式。
It could also be a sign of them saying, "Don't look at us, don't look at us."
另外一个可能就是他们在遮掩自己，他们说不要看我，不要看我，你要看他，我不抢你镜头。
To cover the face in the Old Testament was a sign of bashfulness.
所以在旧约里头，遮脸是一个害羞的一个象征。
It's though these seraphim are saying this.
就像这些撒拉佛在说，
Even though we are the most beautiful of all created beings,
就算我们是所造之物当中最荣美的，
we are ashamed in the presence of His beauty,
但是在你的荣美的光中，我们是何等的羞愧啊！
because it is so much greater than ours.
因为你的荣美远远超过我们，我们无地自容。
And it says, with two, He covered His feet.
这就说，然后两个翅膀遮脚，
Now, what does that mean?
什么意思？
Most of the time, it is the feet are a recognition of someone being creature.
这个脚往往是表示我们是受造之物而已。
And the idea that they're acknowledging we're created,
他们在承认我们是受造的，
but He is the uncreated creator.
唯有你是那非受造的创造主。
They're humbling themselves in His presence.
他们在他面前降卑下来。
Or maybe the idea of in their service, it's as though their feet were even dirty compared to His holiness.
还有一个可能性，就是在他们的服事当中，他们的脚是肮脏的，比起他的圣洁，他们是何等的污秽。
And then it says, and with two He flew.
好，这里有讲到用两个翅膀飞翔。
Now I want you to think 6 wings,
好，你想象6个翅膀，
with 2 of them,
其中2个，
or 1/3 of His wings,
换言之1/3的力量，
He flies.
它在飞翔。
So 1/3 of His activity is actually serving God.
所以它的1/3的力量在实际的服侍主，
2/3 of His activity is worshiping.
2/3的活动都是在敬拜。
We do not spend enough time in worship.
所以我们在敬拜上花的时间不够。
The Americans, the Canadians, the Chinese, we're doers. We're active.
美
We're
国
doing,
人、加
doing,
拿大人、中国人都是喜欢做事的人，
busy, busy, busy,
忙东忙西的，
and not enough time to simply be with God,
却不花充分的时间在神面前
to worship.
敬拜他。
Let's ask ourselves a question,
好，我们扪心自问，
and let's be honest.
我们要诚诚实实的
How
自问：
much time do you spend with God in worship?
你花多少时间在神面前敬拜他，
In ministering unto the Lord in worship?
而且服侍神，在敬拜中服侍他，敬拜他。
Maybe we don't know God and we don't hear God because we're so busy.
也许我们太忙了，以致我们不能认识他。
They said, and I've heard, they said this of John Wesley's mother,
他们讲到约翰卫斯理的妈妈，
but I've known other women do the same.
我知道有些其他姊妹也做同样的事儿。
Women that had 8, 10 children,
那有8个孩子、10个孩子的妈妈，
that they would go sit in their rocking chair
他们会坐在自己的摇椅
and
上，
take their apron
然后拿自己的围裙
and cover their head.
盖住自己的脑袋。
And when the children saw that, they said, "Don't bother mom, she's praying."
当孩子们看到呢，他们说：“哎，别搅扰妈妈，妈妈在祷告。
We need to spend more time ”
我们需要花更多的时间
in worship and prayer.
来敬拜他，来祷告他，祈求他。
All of us.
每个人都需要，
All of us.
每个人。
Now, let's look at what they say.
我们看他们说什么呢？
One called out to another
彼此呼喊说
and said, "Holy, holy, holy is the Lord of hosts."
圣哉，圣哉，圣哉，万军之耶和华。
It's like around the throne there is this chorus of angels.
在宝座的周围有着一群天使在合唱团在唱。
And the idea is not that they are all at one time saying, "Holy, holy, holy."
但不是他们同时唱哦，
But it's like one over here cries out, holy.
这里呼叫圣哉
And the other one echoes,
另外一个
holy.
回应他圣哉
The other one echoes,
另外又回
holy.
圣哉
And just responding back and forth to one another.
彼此
God
回
is
应
holy.
彼
He's
此
holy.
呼喊圣哉圣哉神是圣洁的
That is the primary theme of the chorus around God, that He's holy.
这是在神周围的这主要主题曲，它是圣洁的圣洁的神。
I think holiness is more important in heaven than we see it on earth.
我想神的圣洁在天上比我们在地上所看到的更重
Now,
要。
when they say God is holy, we need to divide this up in two categories.
好，当他们说神是圣洁的，我们需要把它分成两类啊。
Most of the time when people think God is holy, they're only thinking, well, He doesn't sin.
大多数情况，当我们说神是圣洁的，我们想到的是他不犯罪嘛，
But that's only one part of it.
但这只是一部分。
There are two ways to look at it.
有两个角度可以看这个问题啊，
A magisterial holiness,
一个是神的圣洁的
or holiness of majesty,
他的荣耀的圣洁、威严的圣洁
and ethical holiness.
和他的道德上的圣洁。
The ethical holiness is that God does not sin.
好，他道德的圣洁是他不犯罪，
He's pure.
他是纯洁的。
But the holiness of majesty
但他的荣耀的圣洁呢？
means that He's infinitely separated from all other beings.
意思他远远超过任何所造之物，高高在上。
In that He is infinitely greater than they are.
他是无限的，比所造之物更伟大的多得多，超越一切，
Infinitely more beautiful.
是超越的荣美，
And infinitely more worthy of praise.
无限的配得荣耀和颂赞。
Now look at verse 3. It says, the whole earth is full of His glory.
好，第三节，他的荣光充满全地。
Every time an angel looks at a leaf, he says, this is evidence of God.
每一次一个天使看到一片叶子，他说这是神存在的事实。
And the human says, no, it just happened.
人会说，哎呀，这是碰巧啦，
It was an accident.
这是意外，
Just happened.
就这么发生了吗？
Every time an angel sees the functioning of a human eye,
每一次当天使看到人的眼睛的运作的奇妙的时候，
he worships God
他就敬拜神，
for making something so complex.
因为神创造那么复杂的眼睛。
And the humans say, no, it just happened.
那人却说啊，这个是碰巧碰出来的，
Just happened.
就那么发生了吗？
On the day of judgment, we will look so ridiculous.
到审判的日子，人会无地自容。
In order to get my point across, it's almost as though heaven will just laugh. Like, how could you have believed all this?
我把我的话讲清楚啊，天上的会嘲笑我们，你怎么会相信这些玩意儿？进
How
化
could
论
you，believe a creation so complex just happened by
你怎
accident?
么能够相信这么复杂柔美的所造的世界是碰巧碰出来的？
It's absurd.
这简直是不可理喻嘛！
I have a watch.
我有一个手表啊，
And let's say that you looked at my watch and said, Brother Paul, where'd you get that watch?
譬如你说，哎，保罗，你的手表从哪来的？
And I said, well, I found it on the sidewalk.
我说我在那个街上捡到的，
Someone lost it?
有人丢了，
No.
不可能，不，
I was walking by a junkyard,
我到一个那个垃圾箱经过，
and the wind was blowing,
风就吹起来了，
and all of a sudden, this little piece of metal just fell down on the sidewalk.
突然之间呢，这个表就砰掉下来
And
了，
then this other piece of metal fell down on the
另外
sidewalk.
一块金属也掉到那个
And they
街
hit
上，
so hard together that they formed one.
这些金属碰来碰去就变成了一个表了
And，then this other little piece of metal fell.
另外一个金属又来了，
And I stood there
我站在那儿，
as literally hundreds of pieces of little metal fell in the exact same spot.
那成千上万的金属就碰到落在
And
同
then
一
a
个地
piece
方，
of glass fell over the top of it.
然后在上面一块玻璃就掉上去了，
And just happened to be the exact size.
不大不小，刚刚
And
好，
hit so hard that it fused into the metal.
碰来碰去就进去了。
And then this cow died.
那一是牛死掉了，
And dogs started eating it.
那狗开始吃那个牛了，
And some of the meat fell on the sidewalk.
那旁边那个肉就掉在街上了，
And the sun dried the meat.
那个肉，太阳就把那个肉给烘干了，
And then this little caterpillar was pushing it around.
然后那个小毛虫就跑来跑去的，
And it formed into this leather band.
哎，就变成这个皮带，牛皮筋就这么形成了。
You would say, Brother Paul, you're out of your mind.
说保罗弟兄，你疯了你！
You need to go to the doctor with me.
你跟我去看神经病科吧，
Or maybe we should call the police.
也许我们需要找医师，找警察来。
I mean, that's how absurd it is.
这就是何等的不可理喻啊！
Just happened.
仅仅就这么发生的，自然演变的。
No, the angels say the whole earth is full of his glory.
不，天使说他的荣光充满全地，
Like that song that says, I saw God today.
正如那首歌说的：“我今天遇见了主。
And someone says,
有
What
人
do you
说
mean? They say, What do you mean you saw
什么意
God?
思？你见到主了？
I watched a flower bloom.
我看到花朵的开放，
I watched the rain come down.
我看到雨点的降下，
I watched my baby be born.
我看到我的孩子的出生，
The whole earth is full of the glory of God.
全地都充满神的荣耀。”
Then he goes on.
他继续说
And the threshold and the foundations of the threshold trembled at the voice of him who called out while the temple was filling with smoke.：“
因呼喊者的声音，门槛的根基震动，殿充满了烟云。
The very foundations of heaven are shaking.
天堂的门槛，天堂的根基在颤动、颤抖。
Just at the proclamation that God is holy.
当我们宣告神是圣洁的时候，天堂的根基都
How
颤抖。
much more should we tremble before him?
何况我们，岂不更加在他面前
How
战
much
兢？
more should we have reverence before God?
我们岂不更加在他面前战兢兢？
The more we understand his holiness,
我们越认识他的圣洁，
the more we will respect him.
我们就越尊重他。
Now I want you to think about something.
我要你好好思想一件事啊，
It may be changing for some of you, I don't know.
也许对你们某些人而言啊，会在改变啊。
But from
我不
what
知道
I understand about Chinese culture,
据我对中国文化的了解啊，
respect is extremely important.
尊重是很重要，对不对？
To respect a parent,
要尊重你的父母亲，
to respect a grandparent.
要尊重你的爷爷奶奶。
And there was a time, at least, in the Chinese culture,
至少曾经有一段时间在中国文化当中，
when if you disrespected someone like that, it was a terrible, terrible, terrible crime.
如果你不尊重你当尊重的人，这是一个很可怕的一个罪孽。
But now that you live here,
但如今你住在这儿，
in many ways, that's being lost, isn't it?
从某些角度来说，这样的尊重在失落，对不对？
Children rise up against parents.
孩子就起来反叛父母，
They don't respect.
不尊重爸妈。
And some people say, this is terrible. What's happening to us?
很多人说：“哎呀，这太可怕了，对我们发生的事情太可怕。
Then think about us and God. ”
但想想我们跟神的关系，
If there's anyone deserving of respect and reverence, it is God.
如果任何人配得尊重的话，最配得尊重和敬拜的是上帝。
And yet so little respect and reverence is given to him.
但是我们却给他这么少的尊重和敬拜。
We expect that in the lost world,
我们在失落的人当中，我们都期盼有人会尊重我们。
but the sad thing is it's even happening in the church.
但是可悲的是，甚至在教会里头，我们也失去了尊重。
Why?
为什么？
I want to go back to the main reason.
我要回到最主要的原因，
The preachers
就是传道人，
and their preaching.
传道人的讲道。
They're not telling the people who God is.
传道人没有告诉神的百姓，到底神是什么样一位神。
They make God appear to be like some foolish grandfather who just gives out gifts.
他们把神变成一个愚昧的圣诞老公公，给礼物的一个老头，
Or a friend who's come into your life to make it wonderful.
或者一个进入你生命中的好朋友，使你的生命更加的美妙。不，
It's not true.
不是如此。
He's God
他是神呐、
and deserving
他配得我们的
of
尊重，
our honor,
配得我们的敬拜和
our
尊重，
respect,
我们的
our fear,
敬畏，
our obedience,
我们的顺服，
and our worship.
我们的敬拜赞美。
How much do you know God?
你对神认识多少呢？
And this is very important,
这是很重要
what
的。
I'm going to say.
我要说的话很重要。
There are a lot of young men who are now really studying theology,
今天有很多年轻人在学习神学，
and that's good.
很好。
But just because you know a truth doesn't mean that it's really a reality in your life.
你仅仅知道真理，在这里不见得这成为你生活的实际。
There are young men who've read more books than me,
有很多年轻人，他们读的书比我还多，
and have memorized more things.
背了很多东西。
But let me say this.
但让我说，
How much do you know God?
你对神认识多少呢？
That's not answered by how many books you've read.
不是因着你读了多少书，你就真认识他，
It's answered by this.
乃是
How much do you respect him?
到底你尊重他多少？
How much do you reverence him?
你到底敬畏他多少？
That tells us how much you know God.
这个才能够告诉我们你真正认识他多少。
Yes, he is our loving Father,
是，他是我们的慈父，
but our loving Father happens to be the King of the universe.
但是我们的慈父也是这宇宙的大君王。
My children and I have a wonderful relationship.
我跟我的儿女有一个美好的关系啊，
We do all kinds of things
我
together.
们会一起做很多事儿，
And we study, we laugh, we play.
一起学习，一起玩耍，一起谈笑，谈笑风生。
But in spite of all that,
但尽管如此，
I'm not just their friend.
我不仅是他们的朋友而已哦，
I'm their
我
father.
更是他们的爸爸。
And there's a great difference.
这朋友跟爸爸大有区别。
And even they should not treat me even the way they treat one another.
他们不能够像对待弟兄姊妹一样的对待我，
I am their father.
我是他们的爸爸。
How much more do we say that of God?
何况我们的天父呢？
All right, let's pray.
我们祷告，
Father, thank you for your word.
父，我们为你的话感恩。
And I pray, dear God, that you would use it in the heart of your people.
主啊，求你用你的话在你的百姓的心中产生功效。
In Jesus' name,
奉耶稣基督名祷告
Amen.
阿门。